It was during the final days of the Master of Reality tour that the idea occurred. The idea of making an album that was completely different from what they had been offering to the public since the birth of Black Sabbath. After the tour ended in April of 1972, essential changes in the band had to be addressed, and Volume 4 remains a special album amongst fans. Behind this album, there is a story of decontrol, alcohol, and a spiral of destruction that almost ended the band's career without giving way to the album that solidified their status as a highly revered and crucial band for heavy metal. Want to hear the whole story? Stay until the end and join us through this journey with Black Sabbath's Volume 4. Much like in English rock star tradition, basically famous people who swept through the cities of the United States like a tornado, the quartet took the fast lane and went out of control, fueled by alcohol and drugs. It was on this first tour that the first signs of a breakdown appeared. While the band was touring in Seattle, staying at a place called the Edgewater Inn, a hotel that allowed its guests to fish, and where Led Zeppelin once caught a small shark to use it as a sex toy with a fan, Ozzy Osbourne also threw the hook. He caught a shark, and because he had to do a show, he filled the bathtub to leave it there. When he returned, the shark was obviously dead, reason enough for him to disembowel it, leaving a trail of guts and blood. Despite the excesses, by early 1972, Black Sabbath was enjoying the success of their first 3 released albums, all released just in a span of 2 years, which had conquered audiences and charts on both sides of the Atlantic, and this breathed some life into heavy metal. For the first time, they had time to record a new album without the pressure of touring. The band then began rehearsing in Birmingham, with Tony Iommi handling production. But when manager Patrick Meehan suggested recording in Los Angeles to avoid taxes, the frontman immediately agreed. The lease on the Bel Air mansion, owned by Jean Dupont at the time, included 2 French hostesses and a colossal ballroom that overlooked a pool, which was converted into a rehearsal room. The trendy Record Plant studio was also nearby. For 2 months, Black Sabbath moved between the 2 places with the help of one central chemical element, cocaine. High as a kite, Tony Iommi expanded his musical language. He arranged strings on the album's most important song, Snowblind, and also on the majestic instrumental Laguna Sunrise, where an acoustic and orchestral sensibility emerges in contrast to the darkness associated with his guitar sound. Multifaceted and energetic, Tony played piano on the ballad Changes, accompanied by Geezer. Cocaine-fueled alienation became a central theme in Geezer Butler's lyrics. His lyrics describe the effects of coke on Snowblind. The song would be the album's title track until the label suggested something a bit less explicit. It was eventually left as Volume 4, a veiled tribute to Led Zeppelin and their recent untitled 4th album. They were fans and friends to the point that John Bonham was Tommy Iommi's best man at his wedding. Finally, released on September 25th of 1972, the tour that followed confirmed their status as major exponents of the genre. The presence of drugs was so commonplace that Tony Iommi barely noticed an assassination attempt at a show at the Hollywood Bowl. Undoubtedly, Black Sabbath left a legacy, and truly for good reason. The album is such a masterpiece even for today's standards that many bands, and especially guitarists, seek to nail that peculiar sounding guitar tone. Speaking of which, if you want to achieve Lord Riff tone status, look no further than Does It Doom here on YouTube. Steve Rice is your friend, and he will get you hooked up with awesome content, pedals, reviews, and more. Despite the burden of drugs, alcohol, and distortion, they were unbeatable and paradoxically focused, riding on the relentless drumming of Bill Ward and the sulfuric alliance of Tony Iommi and Geezer Butler. Ozzy Osbourne's voice is the wail of a siren, proclaiming existential dismay and little faith in humanity. What do you think of Volume 4? Which album do you think has the best guitar tone? Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that notification bell button so you don't miss any updates. Check out the affiliate links below if you're interested, as this helps our channel grow. Stay heavy.